this list is... Yesterday there was a challenge that we played last night. And we played the challenge, and we got third. So we were third. And the winner of the winner was Mill. So obviously it's a superior deck, so we have to play it. So we're just going to play their list. I think a Torpor Orb would go a long way versus that deck, but at the same time, like, that deck does not really have a very fast start as long as you kill the like, it's sort of slow. You know? And especially if they're going... It's a lot of white-black, though. Relic of Progenitus in the main. Kind of wild. 4 relics. They became so hateful. You know, let them draw the cards. Let them get their card advantage. Let them get their value, you know? They don't really present a very fast clock, generally. Guide of Souls, Ocelot Pride. Follow, appreciate that. Yeah. So, I'm not too worried about it. I mean, we got third, so let's play the deck that beat us, right? I was going to play Esper Murktide, but they lost. They're losers. So, we're playing Mill. I think that the one thing this deck can't beat is the stupid black deck with the mono black aggro deck. That deck you can't beat. The Necro Dominance shit. Like, once this is in play, Mill can never win. Hopefully this deck isn't too popular. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay any amount of life if you do draw the mini cards. Skip your draw step. So you never deck out. You never draw. So you just play this and, like, Mill can't win. It's so silly. Very silly. They can mill you out, but they can't kill you and you just sit there. So we're going to play Mill. Save. Actually, while we're here, let's open our 50 chests from yesterday. This current. Alright, here we go. 50 chests. All at once. Ready? Boom. Two packs. Alesha. I gotta make this bigger. I can make the cards smaller. We just look at... Oh, boy, I broke it. I broke it. Oh, that's a little too small. Not a good hand. Can't really do anything. I guess this is... We're pretty far off from casting the visions, unfortunately. Arid Mesa. Well, unfortunately we have to do this. Alright, what do we got? We got Arclight Phoenixes, Lava Darts. Okay, so we will just surgical the Arclight Phoenixes on our turn. Shock this in. Let's just get these Arclight Phoenixes out of here. Phoenix, Phoenix, Phoenix. So there's 2 Lava Darts in their hand. I guess we could draw step surgical the Lava Dart. See what they drew for the turn. Maybe I was supposed to check the CMC of their deck to see if I can one-shot them with... Lava Dart's kind of scary. If they want to sack their land here to Lava Dart me, that's fine. Big Swiftspear. Now they're not playing Swiftspear. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 32 CMC. The Rift Bolts or whatever they've got. Bit of a problem. Okay, though. I'll just play this. Yield through the turn. We'll probably surveil with this. Get a nice... light up the stage. This is actually good. That just really cut the CMC. Alright. Pretty close to dead here, which is kind of scary. Let's surveil here. Ruined Crab. I don't think Ruined Crab is going to cut it. Was going to cut it. So we go Field of Ruin. 1, 2, 3. Tasha's them. Okay. Now the only problem is they really probably don't have any non-basics for me to actually archive trap them. They could probably see if they actually have any mountains left. 2 or 5. I guess that's what they're trying to figure out right now. But the Arid Mesa, I can... Even the fact that they played the Arid Mesa means I win. Because I could feel the ruin the Arid Mesa. And if they crack the fetch, then I get to archive trap. I guess in theory they could have a bolt in their hand. Just them playing this, I believe, means... I guess they can draw another bolt. Perfect. So now we can go 1, 2... Feel the Ruin the Arid Mesa. Get a swamp. And trap you. Alright. That worked out pretty nicely. So let's see. They have Arclight Phoenixes, Swift Spears. This is definitely a Crypt Incursion matchup. Definitely want Crypt Incursions. The other question is, like, what else do we want? We definitely need to make sure that they... Do we want Ensnaring Bridges? It's going to be hard for us to drop our hands so that... Jace is probably going to be a little slow. And we'll cut... We probably need Spellbomb, too. Alright, let's cut a Glimpse, and let's play this list. Like this. Maybe I'm supposed to have a Toxic. Kind of sus, but I'm going to keep it. We don't get Arclight Phoenix with this hand. This hand's kind of sus. As long as we draw another land, we should be okay. Never punished. Alright, let's play out Ruined Crab. I mean, I used to keep a lot of shitty one-landers, and then they put Surveil lands into the format. So, if you thought I was keeping shitty one-landers before... Oh, we've got shitty Surveil lands, so we're priced in. Okay, so there's a Lava Dart in the graveyard. Obviously, we're not going to block. DRC. Okay, so they have 3 cards in their hand. Ooh, Crypt Incursion. Let's play this. Let's do Arclight Phoenix. Fortunately, we have to get a black here. Don't like shocking myself against this kind of aggression. But sometimes you have to. Really would prefer not to have to Spellbomb them because of the Crypt Incursion. This one Lava Dart. We got crabs again. I wanted to play crabs in the challenge, but I somehow forgot to register for the challenge. No, I registered, and then I unregistered so I could change some stuff, and then I forgot to re-register. Because I'm a... Okay. This could be bad. We might be just dead. If they like Lava Dart, Lava Dart. Lava Dart. We're gonna have to do some math. Oh, they surveilled another Lava Dart? Oh. Uh-oh. Do I have to... So, this is 6-11. I go to 1. I'm dead with the Lava Dart, so I have to now shrink the DRC. This is not good. This is King for Melee, one of our favorite archetypes. A lot of people like it. Right? It's sort of a very popular archetype for some people. And, it's different. It's a different way to play, and it waxes and wanes depending on the meta. Right? Sometimes it's very good, sometimes it's very bad. Right? Right now it's very good because it's very good at beating Breach. I've always liked it. It's just a different way to play. But right now, it beats up on Breach. All the decks that, like, Yawgmoth loses to, Mill just kind of craps on. So, like, Black-White, and Breach, all those decks, Mill just kind of runs them over. You know? Mill kind of beats up on Eldrazi because Eldrazi's slow. It's something I used to play before, so I played it, like, two or three. A more... And people tend to like it. There's like a dedicated community of people that really like Mill. That's what it is. Crabs. There's one of them. There's one of the dedicated Crabs people. This might be a little too crap. Okay. Speaking of crappy. Well, this deck sucks. Why would you ever play this deck? Alright. Put back. Put back. Why would someone ever play this deck? Well, it's not a very good deck in general. Like, the problem is that in the format right now, there's not a lot of counterspells. There's not a lot of mystical disputes, right? So, the more mystical disputes there are, the worse Mill is. But right now, everybody's on the... Blue's basically dead, with the exception of Murktide, right? So, and when blue is basically dead, like it is now... Crack their fetch now. When blue is basically dead, like it is now, Mill has... Like, back in the day, when Spell Pierce existed, right? Mill would just get wrecked by Murktide. Murktide would just take Mill to the cleaners constantly. Since the meta has changed and Spell Pierce is gone. Right? Spell Pierce is gone. A lot of different things are gone. So now we have to respect... We don't have to respect Mystical Dispute. Everyone's playing Consign to... And you don't really have to respect Mystical Dispute. Even though I'm about to get destroyed by this nonsense. But the important thing with Mill is that it beats up on some of the stupid decks in the format. Alright, let's draw a card. Well, we are dead. We are dead. How was it into sewer? Well, it beat Dingo last night, and it beat two... Like, last night in the challenge, this person beat Dingo, and they beat McWinsauce in white-black. And these are both two known slouches with the deck. McWinsauce, known scrub. Someone who's never at the top, never doing well with anything. McWinsauce and Young Dingo. Known scrubs with white-black. I'm just kidding, by the way. Well, the thing with Sewers, right, is that Sewers is always just slow, right? This deck that's just punching me in the mouth with a slick shot show off, I stand no chance. But I actually stood no chance when I kept the Archive Trap on top. Right? The second I kept the Archive Trap on top, I lost. Sewers is generally not a fast deck, and especially if you can just kill their fella. They don't really put on that much of a clock. Unlike this deck, which is just destroying me. I'm probably dead this turn. Yep, they flash it back and I'm literally dead. Cool. Guess I should have mulliganed. I mean, I mulliganed to 5. If I would have had a singular fatal push, would have been very different. Okay. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. But I like to play different decks from time to time. We can't take ourselves too seriously and just try hard. The most popular deck. Oh boy. Speaking of tryharding, we are playing against... we are probably gonna die. We probably don't have the hand to beat this. We probably don't have the hand to beat this hand. I feel a little misled that this person is named Merfolk God, right? Which would make you think that maybe they're playing, I don't know, Merfolk? And this is about as far from Merfolk as you can get. Exactly. A traitor. We're so dead next turn, by the way. There's, like, nothing we can do other than just YOLO. Yeah. I still remember to this day, back in the day there was a standard meta, right? And the standard meta was mono black. It was mono black with Thoughtseize and Pack Rat. It was mono blue with Thassa. Right? And that was it, basically. There were some other decks, but... And I was at a whatever event, and I sat down to play against somebody, and he had on a blue shirt with a blue island deck box, you know, with blue playmat, right? Yeah, we're dead. With a blue playmat, you know, blue life pad keeper, and then I'm like, oh, okay, and then it goes, Swamp Thoughtseize you, and I'm like, you. Alright. Extirpates, Spellbombs, Jace is probably gonna be a little slow. Probably. We need Fatal Pushes to kill Ral. We also kind of need Consign to stop the artifact, but Extirpates will go a long way. You Extirpate Wish. Maybe cut Fractured Sanities. Crypt Incursion's kind of bad. And let's cut a Glimpse. We're off to a pretty bad start this league. Yeah, turn 1 Thoughtseize. That's pretty much it. Alright, 2 Archive Traps. No Leyline of the Voids. Nope. No. I wonder who respect a cat. If they're like mortal enemies. Locked in eternal conflict. I would like an Archive Trap. 2 enemies. 2 star-crossed lovers. We like to see the fetch land. Yep, exactly. Or like an Amulet Titan thing, and then just showing up and being like... There was a one, I don't know if you guys are familiar with... There was a kid who used to play Magic. Who used to go to GPs and stuff, right? And she would play Legacy, right? I don't remember her name. Anyway, she used to play Legacy, and I was sitting next to her at one event, right? And the way that the elf kid, right? I sat next to her at one event, right? And Dana Fisher. Yep. I sat next to her at one event, and she... Ooh, do you think I could get him again? I sat next to her, and I was like watching, and she like took out her cards, and like her deck divider was a Phyrexian poison counter symbol, and I was like, wow, she just gave away all this information and like all this stuff. And then I was like, oh, she shouldn't do that. And then I was thinking in my head, I'm like, maybe I should say something to her, try and hide it. And then I was like, nah, I'm not gonna say anything. And then she just went like land elf go or something stupid like that. I'm just a fucking idiot, and I gotta keep my mouth. And I glad I didn't say anything, but all right, I guess I have to leave the drown up. But I thought the kid was just like misrepresent, just like being sloppy. And no, she was playing mind games at like 11 or whatever. I'm like, oh my god, that's diabolical. This child is a prodigy, a diabolical prodigy. Because it was one of those official poison counter looking things. I guess I can... How many Passing Flames are there? One. Guess I have to hold up Drown. Yeah, kid was operating... I'm here playing fucking tiddly... Manamorphose resolves. Oh, there's a wish. We are on Operation Stop Past in Flames. Operation, please don't cast Past in Flames. It will really mess me up. Did they splice on this? No splice. Yeah, playing Chandra and then I dressed up as Chandra and then like... I bet you they're gonna get Orm's Past in... Operation counter the Past in Flames. We are successful. Reckless Impulse. There's another wish. I don't think they're dead. Visions? Huh. So, if we Fractured Sanity them, they mill 14, untap, and kill. I would like to Visions to find some way to exile their graveyard. Oh, there's also a crab. So there's a wish there. I think I play this crab. I think I do this. Oh, they're dead. Because Krabby's awesome. Now they're dead. Shelldock Isle. Got him. Okay, your turn. I was like, oh, I should surgical for information. Meanwhile, their whole information is right here. Alright, let's take a look. 1 wish, 2 wish, 3 wish. 3 wishes. They did not board in, what's a hoozy? It appears that they did not board in, which means we need to surgical wishes and surgical wish. Oh, they brought in empty the Warrens. That's savage. Alright. Let's run it about. Yeah. Krabbies always are just going to win the game. Alright, so we have... I suppose we can keep. The important thing is they play Ralzeric and not Stupid Artifact. If they play... We have 50-50 to win here. The problem is by the time the Storm Trigger resolves, right, they're going to be able to do it again, right, and just loop it again, right? So, like, they'll cast 40 million spells, and then you're like, okay, whatever, and then you're just like, and then they'll just be like, okay, well, I'll just do it again. Like, when they go off with an abundance of whatever, and it is it would be like trying to stick your finger into a dam, where yes, there are certain situations where you will be able to consign some stuff, but at the flip side, there are lots of times in which you will not be able to stop the flooding, if you will, right? Like, Rel, no, not this, no. Well, they only have 2 cards, so maybe we can, you know. Okay. Let's just play this. Having a consign to counter a metallic, a ruby medallion is probably a good thing. There's a Desperate Ritual. A fetchable land, no less. Yeah, I think we have a better chance of bring it in to stop the medallion, which is more important, unironically. We're gonna go to the end step, and we're going to give them the Archive Trap. And and we're gonna cycle Fractured Sanity. Oh, the lag. Please lag. Yeah, I think you have a better chance. The real reason to bring it in would be to tag the medallion. Because the real secret to this deck is it can't function without medallion or Rao. I mean, it's not really a secret. Alright, so what do we want to draw? We want to draw probably a Surgical. Crab. Crab's always a good draw. That's pretty good, too. Take the Wish right now. Taking Wish is always a very good thing, because fuck that card. Let's play lands. Let's Surgical the Wish. If you Surgical the Past in Flames, they can always Wish for another Past in Flames. But let's just take this out of the equation. Wish gone. Wish gone. Wish gone. Oh, we hit one from their hand. Oh, you hate to see that. Oh, you hate to see that. Remember when I was saying that every deck that beats Yawgmoth gets just dumpstered by Mill? Right? This is one of the decks that just beats the shit out of Yawg and then just gets dumpstered by Mill. Alright, so they have, like, literal nothing going on. So, I'm just gonna chill. Their hand is Pyretic Ritual. If I were to mill them this turn... Yeah. Warren, empty the Warrens is the only... What are they doing here? Artist Talent. Huh. That's interesting. Nope. None of that. I'm casting Tasha's next turn, and we're probably going to hit their mill thing. I don't need them looting and rummaging and all that. No. Yeah. Well, I think that my argument would be that the deck is very... Like, Eldrazi sort of takes a while to kill you. And that in those turns of them just sort of dirtling, really good. Yes. You've got all the mana. Alright. So we're going to Tasha's them. And we're going to hope that they don't draw... I think I have... Is it better to just Tasha's them? Let's take a gander at the CMC. Is it better to Tasha's them or Glimpse them and then Extirpate if we hit Past in Flames. It's probably better to just extirpate the Past in Flames. Because the odds of us missing next turn with this Glimpse are very low. But, you know, I think it's important to have rock, paper, scissors under concepts. And, like, Yawgmoth sort of represents a rock. And Mill represents paper in that a lot of the decks that beat Yawgmoth lose to Mill. And I enjoy that. So all these, like this deck just sort of dumpsters Yawgmoth, right? I very much enjoy the fact... What do we got? Did we miss? Miss. What the hell? That's unbelievable that we missed. Well, we'll just yield through the turn now. Yeah. Like, Yawgmoth can't beat Breach. It can, but it can't. Can't beat Storm, you know. Can't beat Black-White Ephemerate, you know. But Mill can beat him. 1, 2, 3. Pyretic Ritual resolves. Urgh! So we milled 10 cards, missed. I don't know if I'm supposed to extirpate anything. I think I'm probably just supposed to let them go nuts. So let's take a look. What are they going to do? They're going to draw. They're going to empty. And they can't kill me. I think I want to hit Ral. Yeah, they're going to draw their whole deck. So I'm just going to hit Ral. Actually, I let the Past in Flames resolve. And then I extirpate the Past in Flames. And then I Tasha's them. And they won't have enough CMC. I let them make 1,000,000 goblins. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm just going to yield through the turn. Alright, so unfortunately we have to let them go a little nuts here. And they're going to make a big empty, and then we're going to Tasha's them. But we need them to draw a few cards and mill a few cards. We need them to do this so we can just kill them with this Tasha's. But luckily we control the narrative here. And the narrative is they have to dig to find empty. They are dead. Yep. They're dead. But they're going to get to spin their wheels and enjoy it. So they could technically... The technically correct play for them to do here, which is super shady, is they should make enough Empty the Warren tokens to crash the game. Because they could crash the game, restart the game, and then it would be a game, another game 4. So how's that for shady, delirious, shady play? I don't know if our opponent's gonna be shady like that, but we'll see. Oh, they can't cast it again because of the empty. Because I because I extirpated the Past in Flames, so they can't just keep casting it. All right. Your turn. Sick army of goblins you got there. We did it. Oh, it's a lot more than 20 mental damage. It's like 20,000 mental damage. The King Grab. Alright, so what are we playing against? We're playing against... Looks like Breach. It doesn't necessarily smell... Oh, it's not Breach. Dude, if they have an Unearth here, I'm going to be displeased. Ah, boo. 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 God, that's some shit right there. Alright. Goryo's Vengeance? Oh my god. What is our opponent up to? We're probably dead next turn with this Goryo's Vengeance. Oculuses? Alrighty. The important thing is we didn't mill anything ridiculously big. You too. Alright, we're F6'd here. We're F6'd here. Do I want to block with my crab? No, my crabs are sacred to me. My crabs are sacred to me. Okay. The question is, am I Tasha's or am I Fractured Sanitying? Let's do this. Target them. Target them. Ooh, Overlord of the Bale Mark. That's interesting. Counterspell. Counterspell. Alright, we'll take a look at their... Ulamog the Defiler. I guess I just get... Okay. Alrighty. We have to do some thinking here, friends. We have to do some thinking. There are 4 counterspells milled. I'm not necessarily worried about hitting a counterspell. There are 3 Abhorrent Oculuses milled. 3 Psychic Frogs. So, they have 15 cards. So we should be able to surgical Gorios. Or surgical something. And then be able to mill out their last card. Right? We have to put on our thinking caps. We have to figure this out. I feel like there's only 2 unearths, but they could be doing a lot less. We could also hit the... I don't know if they're playing Tainted Indulgence. I'm also thinking about getting the Ulamog. But Ulamog could be a one-of. Let's look at lands. There's 3 Polluted Deltas. Faithful Suiting, right? They've got to be playing more Faithful Suitings. They gotta be. Oh, they have Sink into Stupor. Shit. There's 4 Psychic Frogs, right? Psychic Frog, Psychic Frog, Psychic Frog. So, I guess as long as these aren't Emperor of Bones, I guess we'll cast it and make them use the thing. We want to make them use it because otherwise they can afford to flip up. If one of these is an Emperor of Bones, they could afford to flip it up and get the Ulamog if we don't make them tap. One of them's going to be an Emperor of Bones and we're going to die. Unearth. Emperor of Bones. They're going to target Ulamog and we're going to be dead. This is a hard matchup. This is an unbelievably hard matchup. I think we would have been able to dumpster them if they didn't rip, if they weren't able to consign into the thing. I think we would have dumpstered them. But whatever. Sometimes you lose. Tasha's is terrible against them. Crypt Incursion we want. We probably want Toxic Deluge too. We probably want Shot the Sheriff. We probably don't want Visions. Alright. We're shaving all the mill, which might... Would you like to play first? Yes, I would. This is a very good hand. There will be no bullshit Oculuses on turns 1, 2, or 3, right? There will be no bullshit. Alright. Excuse you? Force the negation pitching Stern Scolding? Okay. Alright, well they didn't have force negations in game 1. There's an Ulamog in the graveyard. That may become an issue. That may become an issue at some point. The fact that there's an Ulamog in the graveyard. It's possible that that may come up again. They put an Unearth and a Grizzlebrand in the graveyard. Interesting that they shocked. Why do you think that they shocked? Very interested to know why they would shock there. Why do you guys think that they shocked? A lot of black cards in our hand. Not a lot of blue cards. Not a lot of milling going on. A lot of hate. Crabbies are back. Crabbies never left. I should have screenshotted their deck from game 1. Alright. We're just gonna chill, I guess. If I Crypt Incursion here, they just Gorios and get Grizzlebrand, and that would be bad. Hey, it's a Crabby. But I can't really do anything with the crab, so there's it. We're just gonna hold up Crypt Incursion. Gorios, cycling on Earth. How do I feel about Crypt Incursioning? Get rid of these 2 giant threats. No. 1, 2, Emperor Bones. You see what they're gonna do here, right? Whatever they target with Emperor of Bones. I could just Fatal Push this. Bonk. And now they're exiling their own Grizzlebrand for me. And I don't even have to worry about it. Isn't that nice? That's so nice of them. They're too kind. I didn't have to exile the Grizzlebrand. Let's just be patient. I would extirpate the Shot the Sheriff, but the Emperor of Bones, but I have another Shot the Sheriff. Gorio's Vengeance. Boop. Counterspell, Stern Scold. Look at that hand. What a hand. Alright, let's take a little snippy snip of this. They have an island. So they are prepared for our crab. They have another island in their deck? Interesting. Their mana base is way better than what I had. Do I want to make them use the Stern Scolding on the crab, or do I want to glimpse them? Glimpse seems a little dangerous, but alright. As long as they don't draw exactly something crazy. They didn't even surveil there. That's interesting. Faithless Looting. Oh, we could be in some danger here. Maybe it was wrong to go shields down, but they have so much interaction that, like, I kind of have to kill them, you know? Gotta mill them out. Oculus here? Oculus is fine, right? We got the Toxic to clean up the Oculus. So what did they discard? Discard Stern Scolding and Fatal Push. Okay, so they have a counterspell in their hand. Alright, let's draw Draw a fetch land. That'd be nice. I'll take that. So let's go 1, 2, 3. Toxic. Maybe. Yeah, let's just toxic. Play crab. And play land. Okay. Oof. They still have a counterspell up. It's not the best for me. I'm not gonna lie. They have a force of negation. Yeah, this is bad for me. Flavor when that you shot the sheriff, but you did not kill the dead. So that song plays in my head all the time. What they put in their hand? They put Faithless Looting, Psychic Frogs. I think this just kills them, right? Because it doesn't kill them. I think I just pass. There's no reason to do anything now. Everything's an instant. If I were to mill them, they don't have anything they can Goryo's back. Okay. I feel like I should cast Crypt Incursion. And if they counterspell this, then I can just shot the sheriff this. Crypt Incursion. Counterspell. I shot the sheriff. But I did not kill the... Oh my god, if that thing was a fucking assassin or whatever the hell the outlaws are, I'm very unhappy. Why not the other way around? Because I want this thing to resolve. Okay, so we know. I know that they know that I know that we know that they have a force of negation in their hand. So their hand is Counterspell. Their hand is Counterspell, Frog, and then something unknown. So if we hit the force of negation... Oh, did they exile the force of negation? Oh, they did exile the force of negation. That's very smart of them. But if we surgical the Psychic Frog, maybe they don't have another blue card to exile. Right? So we're going to hit the Psychic Frog. And we're going to pay 2 life. Because they didn't play the Psychic Frog for a reason the other turn. Because they were holding it up as a blue spell for the thingy. Well, they were not. They have an Oculus. They have an island in the deck too. So I guess I make them pitch this. And we go 1, 2, hit this. And we'll make them pitch. We'll make them pitch the Oculus. Because this is lethal. Alright. Shouldn't attack. So they have a Faithless Looting in their hand. Cast the Faithless Looting from the graveyard. Atraxa. Well, as long as they don't have a Goryo's as their last card. Okay. Grizzlebrand. That's a good draw. Alright, let's hit their other black source here. Let's play Spellbomb. Am I popping the Spellbomb now to try and hit something? I mean, if I hit a land, right, they go to the dumpster. A fetch land just kills them. Okay, well that's not a fetch land. But I'm okay with it. 5 cards. I have a Fatal Push. We might pull this one off, after all. Emperor Bones. Alright, how many counter spells are gone? 1, 2, 3. They could have a counter spell. But if they counterspell this, then they won't be able to counterspell the mill spell we're going to draw. Because we're going to draw a mill spell right here. Shit. Alrighty. We shall be chump blocking. Luckily, there's nothing that can eat him. Fatal Push. We'll block with Inferior Crab. 1 fetch land, please. Tilt. Okay. What do you think? Think they can surveil an Oculus into the graveyard? Oh, they kept the card on top. I was going to say, if they surveilled an Oculus and then brought it back, that'd be pretty... Alright, so once again, deck, I'm asking you for a land. Sure. They have 2 cards in their library. Alright, any lands? Preferably, I would like the cycled. I'd like a Fractured Sanity. That would be most preferable here. Fractured Sanity would be a very good draw here. No, it's cool. I appreciate it. Yay! You can't counter this. Down to the wire. Down to the last, literal last draw step. I'm not slow rolling opponent. Yay. Super close games. Oh, that was game 2? Oh my god. The slog. I probably should have Drowning the Lochs in the deck. Hindsight being 2020 and all. Crypt Incursions are kind of clunky. But they might be a necessary evil. Alright, let's run it back. Run it back. Am I playing these games off stream? I just hit Diamond in TFT. TF Tizzle! And then, like, I lost my... I, like, hit Diamond, and then I immediately was like, okay, I'm gonna stop. I should keep going. Because... I hit Diamond, and I was like, I'm done. I'm out of here. This is a lot of lands. This is probably gonna go terrible. I really like the TFT set. Like, I've been playing TFT. I was so into Rivals before, but then, like, my buddy was like, let's grind together. And so I just didn't just play willy-nilly, and then I never ended up playing with that person for scheduling reasons, and then I just stopped playing Rivals. So... now it's TFT. TFT has been my go-to for the last couple of weeks. You can't run it on Linux? I don't know what Linux is, but... I don't know what Linux is, but I click the button and I can play the game. You know? I don't mean to be a hater, but I click the button and I play the game. It's like Windows, but better. I don't know. I can play video games on my computer. Boom! Roasted. Sorry. The thing I like about TFT is it's free. Linux is the mill of operating systems. The thing I like the most about TFT is it's free. And I don't have to worry about it. You could dual boot and I have Windows on here. You're talking about. That's... Dude. You're talking to a Windows basic bitch. I want to cast this, but I have a feeling terrible things will happen to me if I... No, you don't have to. That's the thing. You don't have to. They give you, like, I've never spent a dime on that game, and I've got Pengu, which is the best one ever, and there's no reason to ever... There's no reason to, like... How are you supposed to win? Listen. I mean, I appreciate you guys that spend the money on that game so that I can play it for free. Because I have Pengu. I hit Pengu, and Pengu is just the best. And there's nothing better than Pengu. I feel like I should just extirpate this Goryo's. And just not have to worry about it. And then we can get some information. Oh, you have one in your hand. Alright. So what's going on? They've got... Snippy Snip. Snippy Snip. It's not... I mean, you get basic guys for, like... No, don't get it twisted. Right? It's not a big deal. Why do they have a consign to memory? Oh, it's a crab. This is gonna eat a thing. Stern Scalding. Yep. No, it's not a welfare queen. It's just like I enjoy games that are free. Not that I enjoy games that are free. It's just I hate playing a game. Like, I bought a game. I bought this one game called Revenant to play with, like, a bunch of my friends. And they all got into the game, and we played it for, like, a week. And I spent $70. And then after a week, or, like, 2 weeks, I beat it. I was done with it. I was bored of it. And, like, I wanted to keep playing it, but all my friends, like, quit. And then I was stuck there with this Revenant shit. And I spent $70 on it, and it pissed me off. No, it's not pay to win. Like, TFT is not pay to win at all. Like, you literally... I could log on account and never have spent a dime and have the same win rate as anyone else. They were just memeing. It's not pay to win. It's not like... It's not pay to win. Alright, so they have a Consign and a Force Negation up here. I have a Crypt Incursion. If I crack this and... Yeah, I guess I'm just going to crack this and hardcast this Fractured Sanity. It's not pay to win. Yeah. Like, League is not pay to win either. It's pay to be cool. Star Sector. What's it about? Frog. Tell me about Star Spectre. Sci-fi space RPG? Is it solo or multiplayer? Off a cliff? Okay, so they pitched the Consign to memory. So... Off a cliff? So we don't know any of the cards in their hand. I guess they're debating if they want to discard a card or not. Okay. I could return this to my hand and play it. That would show our opponent. We can use it for Revolt, though. That's pretty fancy. What's better? So which is better? My personal opinion is League is better because I am not a fan of Creep Denial because I felt that, like... So essentially, they're pretty much the same game with the exception of Creep Denial, which means that you can kill your own creeps to deny the enemy from taking them, which I always felt was more of a... Like, if you're winning, I always felt it was like a win more type of thing. Where, if I was losing, I would lose harder because my opponent could just deny all my creep. Which I never liked. I felt it was more snowball-y than League. And League was more popular. Which I know will upset some of the Dota people, but League's always been more popular. And there's that song, you know, you want to be popular. Alright, look. Crypt Incursion. Let's give ourselves some life to play with. Oh gosh darn, please don't counter that. Was Dota the OG? The OG was on Warcraft 3. Alright, so let's go 1. Let's hit. Let's hit the black-red. Let's get an island. What are we afraid of? Frog, Emperor of Bones, Emperor of Bones. I don't see an Oculus in their graveyard. Emperor of Bones, Emperor of Bones, Emperor of Bones. So I guess we're scared of... No, we're not afraid of Kroxa. We got rid of their... Goryo's Vengeances are no longer a threat to us. Okay, so now... I guess I could Surgical Consign to memory. No, because they only have 2. Or they have 1, 2. I guess I should Surgical the Consign to memory so I can resolve this Ensnaring Bridge. And then just chill. Alright, let's get Consign to memory. Okay. Oop. I guess they have a Sink into Stupor into their hands, so we're not chilling, but... Kroxa. Kiora. Ooh, Frog. Frog. Alright, they have 6 cards left. They have a Sink into Stupor in their hand. I would like to return this to my end. Like to play a crab? Play a land? Okay, I believe we have defeated them. Because they have to do a lot of damage. And if Frog hits somebody... Humorous that Mill is a bad matchup for me, but it's true. But at this point, like, League is... Like, I have a lot of respect for Riot Games because they put in a lot of effort to, like, grow their game. And I think Dota 2 just sort of gave up, you know? Like, League... Like, Arcane was crazy. Like, such a cool show. It's such a good idea, such a cool show. You know, the cinematics they put in... Riot Studios is actually... It's a music studio. And, like... I mean, most people know the name of Faker, you know? Most people know who Faker is. They took my thing. Why did they take my thing? That's not nice. Another crab? Yay! Look how easy this game is. Bonk. What is our opponent up to? Orcish Bowmasters? Well, there's that whole story that I've seen on TikTok of the guy being like, Blizzard made more money off one. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's that Thor guy who streams whatever. He used to work for Blizzard, and he says he worked on StarCraft 2, right? And one in WoW purchasable horse made more money for Blizzard than the entire game of StarCraft 2. And if you think about that from Blizzard's perspective, a lot of their business decisions make a lot of sense. Why they don't give a fuck about doing new games. Why they're just like set to be who they are, you know? Because they just make all their money on other things. Pirate Software, yeah, that's the dude. They can't sell World of Warcraft. It makes them so much money. Alright, so what do we got here? They have 16 cards left. Is there anything we should surgical? Nah. We'll just get hit by the face with the frog. Despite their products being popular and not someone I ever support. Well, that's the cool thing about Riot, is that, like, I've been playing their games for 10 years and I've never given them a dime. I mean, cool in a... I probably shouldn't F6. That's not true. That's not true. My friend gave me a $20 gift card for my birthday a long time ago, so I bought Battle Boss Vygar with my friend's $20 that he gave me. But it's like Wizards. It's like Wizards when they were like, not every product is for you. It's like, okay, well, fuck you then. And, you know, I don't give Wizards any money either because I hate Wizards. I would say that every decision that Wizards has made... I mean, obviously I give them money by playing on Magic Online, but that money goes to Daybreak. But I don't go to... You know, I'm not buying paper product. I'm not buying scratch-off tickets. What bothers me about Wizards and Magic packs are the dopamine gambling aspect of it. Right? Like, obviously Wizards knows what they're doing, and they're being predatory, and they're preying on people with poor impulse control. It's just like working at a casino, right? You see all those people on scratchers just being like, oh, you know, it's just, they turn it into a gambling addiction, and I really don't like packs. Because I've seen people who don't have the money to be opening packs that are just straight up gambling. And I really don't like that about Wizards and how they've leaned into that, right? So they took something that was already super sus and super sketchy, and they just leaned into it by calling it booster fun, right? Yeah, they're just it's literal gambling. It's just fucking Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It's so scummy. A problematic. But, like, there was this one guy at the local store. Oh, it's not problematic. There's this one guy I know at the local store who has developmental disabilities, and he's got all kinds of stuff. He's on Social Security. Like, he's got problems, right? And there's nothing he loves more than ripping packs. And I hate that. I hate how predatory Wizards is. Alright, is there a Force of Negation here that I can get? Alright, there's a Force of Negation. So let's surgical their Force of Negation. So I very much dislike Wizards and what they do and what they're trying to do and how their packs are basically lottery tickets. Yep, exactly. It's predatory, it's scammy, and it's... Like, I like the game. Yeah. But, you know, what else am I going to do with my surgical extraction? Maybe they don't, you know... You know, I gotta... What else am I doing with it? But I don't like that about Wizards, you know? Like, look at this. Like, the lands that you open. Like, look, like, what is this? Who's this for? Like, look at all these different gambling versions. It's just gamble, gamble, gamble. Fancy scratch-off tickets. Slot machines, right? And that aspect of Wizards I hate. Want nothing to do with it. They do look disgusting. Alright, we want Shot the Sheriff. We want Spellbomb, Spellbomb. There's an argument maybe for Toxic, but I don't know. Tasha's isn't that great against them. Neither is Jace. 61? We don't need Crypt Incursion. Yeah. Yeah, they do look like Pokemon cards. And who are these designed for? They're designed for weebs and, you know, young kids to try and get them into... Like, it's just... It's not cool, Wizards. It's very predatory. And I don't like it. Don't support it. Like, I don't buy packs. I don't participate in that. But I do like the game. I think the game is pure and good and simple and fun, you know. I enjoy the game. But I don't enjoy what Wizards has become, what they do, the things that they do. Pretty much every decision that they've made, I don't. And they're just doing it for corporate greed. Yeah, they don't even... And then, like, you find out that they don't pay their artists well, and all these artists have these terrible stories, and da-da-da-da-da-da. So it's just... Well, yeah, but Wizards wanted to get paid. Probably should have archive trapped them instead of just sitting here talking shit. Yeah, but pre-modern is just not fun. Because pre-modern, you have to leave your house. No, there are people that are into it. Right? I have some friends that are into it. But I don't want to leave my house. Ever. And like where I live, there's nobody. Well, I guess probably I could drive 45 minutes. I drove 45 minutes one time to the local store at an F&M, and then I'm just like, nah. An Oculus? Like, we're not leaving the house. Alright, here comes Oculus. Oh, this might be Murktide. That might be a problem. Not. You gonna push my crab? That would be a problem if they push my crab. That's fine. Watery Grave, tapped. Alright, well, I might just die to this giant idiot. And no, it's not gonna help. I gotta put it on the bottom. If I had just used this archive trap. But I have to put this on the bottom. But we're lagging! I think that if I were to play pre-modern, if I were to like stream it, no one would be interested. It's much like Legacy. It's like Legacy is at least popular. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll do pre-modern. I know a bunch of people in Binghamton play pre-modern. All right. Grab time. What is this lag? Like, I know people like ripping. Pre-modern is every modern. It's very weird cutoff, right? It's like all cards that are in a modern border before they started printing. It's all the cards that were printed before the modern border. But the problem is you can't play Fallen Empires cards. Like, why can't I play Hymn to Torok in that stupid... Like, I hate it. That's why I don't... I remember now. It's like, you can't play him. Okay. Alright, let's glimpse. I mean, I'm sure they have a counterspell. Alright, so we're going to go to their upkeep. And we will upkeep. Attempt to drown the thing. Bonk. Dead. Well, if I would have used the archive trap, it probably would have been a very different game. Let's run it back. Yeah, there's a whole website for it. But, like, Why isn't Fallen Empires legal? Why? Why is Fallen Empires not legal? Why not? Why can I play Ice Age in 4th edition, but I can't play Fallen Empires? Fallen Empires are my homie cards. My favoriteest card. It's when I started playing. The best cards ever printed were in Fallen Empires. We're gonna look at some of the gems from Fallen Empires. Look at some of these gems. High Tide, greatest card ever. The Homerids, obviously you have to keep track of your tide. Homerid Spawning Bed, broken. Would you like to play first? Yes. How about we just put him into Modern? Dude, I wish. Yeah, why? Why would you not play Fallen Empires? Why are we doing pre-modern, but I can't use my River Merfolk or my Sea Singer? Or him. Dude, this card, if it attacks and is not blocked, you may sacrifice it. There's one that makes him discard 3. Which one is it? Necrotal. Mind Stab Thrall. Look at this. If it attacks and isn't blocked, you may sacrifice it to force the player it attacked to discard 3 cards. It's so broken. They just don't make cards like that. And look at this guy doing the little Squidward run. Those are the cards I want to play with. Yeah. Fallen Empires was how I started playing. It gives me the member berries with the Fallen Empires. Fatal Push. Boo! Stupid. Alright, well, I'm going to play this. And I'm going to play this. I suppose I want that. Yeah, like a paragraph of text. Look at this. Talk about a paragraph of text. Can only be played on target land you control. Sacrifice a Thrall to put 3 time counters on Torok's Gate. During your upkeep, you may remove a time counter from Torok's Gate. If there are no time counters on it, bury it. Tap a land. Torok's Gate enchant. All attacking creatures you control get +2/-1 until end of turn. By the way, reserved list. So let's go. All you Rudy stands out there. It's reserved list. Okay. 8 lines of text to be like tap enchanted land. This card's actually good. Sack a goblin to regenerate a creature. Shit's baller. Boo. Yeah. Right for a spec. I mean, artwork-wise, this artwork is pretty baller, I guess. Goblin grenades are sick. I'm gonna just cast Fractured Sanity. 4 arts for the same card? That's right. You get to choose. Do you want to be the aggressive goblin who's just going in, jumping in ham? Do you want to be the apprehensive goblin or the I have no idea what's going on? I don't suppose we could teach them to throw the cursed things. Or do you want to be the one that's like, yeah, because I'm here? Or, that's it, there's only 3. 4 different arts of Goblin War Drums. The Thalids. I thought this one was like photorealistic as a kid. I was like, wow, this card's so cool. This land. Dart you. Is this Seriax's list? No. This is the challenge that we entered yesterday. The challenge that we entered yesterday that we got third. This is the deck that got first. Here we are, a mere third place competitor, and this won. So I was like, we must, if we could not win the tournament, we must play the deck that won the tournament. Let's find out. We can check that right now because we can look at it. Ron Spencer did this art of Goblin Grenade. Ron Spencer. Christopher Rush did a Goblin Grenade. It's Mike on the spear. M-I-K-E. Oh, that's so cool. What are some other sick cards? Night Soil is actually kind of cool. And your explosives. My thing. I'm very surprised they're letting me untap. What? I would like to return this land. Yeah. Yep. I couldn't tell you what any of these do. I couldn't tell you what one of these artifacts do. Except for this one. This was played in 93-94 in mono black decks and mono white decks to kill Black Knight and White Knight respectively. This was the sideboard technology in 93-94. This is how you won your 93-94 hate deck. Because I used to play 93-94. Cast this. Target you. Bowmaster. I probably should have cast this Visions before this Bowmaster came out. But we're just making all the punts. All of the punts. I guess I'll do this during their turn. I'll Fatal Push this and then activate the Visions, and they'll have to use a counterspell on this. And then I can like untap and alright, so let's kill the Bowmaster. That's not nice. I guess I used this. Do we want a Visions? They might not counter this. It definitely puts the clock. Well, Bowmasters is still a good card in these mirrors, right? Bowmaster's still a pretty solid card in these mirrors. This would have been a lot better if I was paying attention and I did this in response to the Bowmaster instead of talking about stupid Fallen Empires cards. But who's to say? Who's to say that playing properly would have been better than scrolling these dumb cards? Yeah. Alright, what art do you guys like for him? I think this art is the best. Because of the contrasting colors. Like, I like what's going on with this one color-wise. There's the wolf. Then there's Creepy Old Man. And then this is like... This one looks like... It's an action... Like, if I saw this... If I went to some museum... And I saw this hanging on the wall of some European thing... I'd be like, yeah, okay. Creepy Old Man's the best? Yeah, that sounds... Some of you... Creepy old... Yeah, I don't know. This has some nice color stuff going on. But this is like... This has some... Look at the color on this. It's so cool. One of each is the answer? No! No, not one of each. No, you can't do one of each. This one I always thought looked like aliens. I always thought that they just ripped... Christopher Rush just ripped this off Aliens from Sigourney Weaver. The same with one of each is correct. Yeah, you need one of each Tron land. Alright, let's draw some cards here. Alright, so the plot... The game has sped up because I did this. Hey, that's a good draw. We're going to do this on their upkeep. Because that's what cool people do. And we's the cool people. That one. Just the best possible draw. I mean, we did just draw... we just cast Ancestral Recall. Listen. We're going to talk about cards. Ancestral Recall. View all prints. Let's go with this one. $15,000. Might be good. Okay. Archive Trap You. Actually, you're supposed to say, yeah, but it's only 5 tickets on Moto, so it must suck. I will pay... No! Today has just been the peak of Magic. We're just playing at the tippy top level of Magic. Archive Trap You. Adam, thank you for the raid. Welcome, everyone. Hope you had a good stream. We are fumbling our way through a mill league, and fumbling is the optimal word. It's probably... They had nothing. So, it was calculated. It was still had all these. Alright. Every game with mill is just a slog. Peak gameplay. Peak gameplay indeed. Okay. Plan for the 4-1. What do you guys want to see after this? Mill with Tamiyo. Can't afford Tamiyos. I can't afford to play Tamiyos. What? I just do whatever. Just play whatever I want. Usually Yawgmoth, but I just play whatever. It's more fun to play whatever. Gentrix deck? I can't afford Ketramosas. See, we went to the next level, right? We lost... You see... We lost to Gendrick, but Gendrick lost to Mill. So therefore, Mill is the superior deck. And so we played the superior deck. Right? That makes sense to me. Daybreak Demonic Tutors? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, hot dog. Uh-oh. Our opponent might be playing a deck that is very familiar. I could actually play anything I wanted. The problem with a Daybreak account is that if you win a challenge, you win nothing. There's no stakes. You know, I'm a degenerate gambler. I need my blood rushing. I need there to be stakes. If I played for nothing and, like, my winnings didn't matter... Oh... You think I make mistakes and slack now? You need that competitive cutthroat edge. You know? You need to be able to gamba and go up and down on play points like a true degenerate. I don't see any mistakes. Oh, well then you're not watching. Because all we do is make mistakes. Okay, so they have a frog. This deck that they're playing looks kind of familiar. I can't place it, but it looks kind of familiar. What do I want to do? I don't really want to get hit by the frog. But you see, back in the day, when we used to play crabs against mill, right? Or crabs against hammer, we used to let the hammer creature, what the hell is it called? The 1-drop? We used to let that be an honorary crab because people would draw a bunch of cards with it. So now we have to let Psychic Frog be an honorary crab. Yeah, what the hell's the point of hard casting Atraxa? Yeah, those decks play with no huevos. Esper Sentinel. Esper Sentinel used to be an honorary crab because we would just cast into it. So this Psychic Frog is now an honorary frog. An honorary crab. A crabfish. Cephalid Coliseum. A frab, if you will. Yes it does. That's why we didn't cast it. Psychic Frog refuses to be drowned. That's the important thing about Psychic Frog. It refuses to be drowned. Okay. Yep. But I'm a little scared of, like, glimpsing them more and, like, getting more cards. It's the post-combat Emperor of Bone. Oh, boy. I don't think we can actually win game 1 here. I don't think we can win game 1. Apparently, they're playing our deck, the deck we played yesterday, but they decided to cut all the red mana, which I don't think was smart. I think the deck works better if you play red mana. Yeah. No, I don't see any. There's nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. I'm not gonna block. Uh-huh. 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 I'm gonna not block. How do I win this? I win this by cycling this into a shock land, fetch land. Okay. I mean, they never, yeah. Okay. So now we go to their upkeep. I mean, by sponsor, they give me a free thingy. Which is why I still shill. They're pretty awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do is whenever the lag stops, I'm going to cast Archive Trap. Okay. Why? What could possibly happen by tapping man with the Oboro out? What possible thing could happen? Their deck looks sweet. Alright, now it becomes a lot harder. I want to shoot the Sheriff. I want to Extirpate. What gets cut? Tasha's not the greatest. What year is this? Listen. There's a lot of people. I don't know. best. But let's talk about this card. This card. Let's talk about Grinding Station. And let's talk about mostly Grinding Station and all this silly Reanimator Goryo's Vengeance stuff that only absolute jerks play. Only the worst players play Goryo's Vengeance type. We'll cut Jace. We probably don't need the multiple Crypt Incursion. I don't know. Like, Crypt Incursion seems good in theory, but it's a lot of mana. Oh, the split second. It's mostly to get endurances too. Chronically underplayed? I don't know about underplayed. Maybe we can shave a Visions. Maybe we'll shave one of these. 61 card special? Okay. 61 card special. Okay. Alright, so we can shoot a sheriff. It's okay as long as we don't kill the deputy. And keep. We're a little light to some turn 1 Goryo's shenanigans, turn 2 Goryo's shenanigans. But we're going to believe in the heart of the cards. They're not going to be able to entomb Goryo's here. Surveil or Crab? I think I have to Crab. Crab's too strong. Maybe, I mean, if they Fatal Push, then they don't get a Surveil. Which, as we know, Surveil can just be Entomb in this deck. So, my things. My poor Crab. I declare this frog to be an outlaw. I didn't say it, I declared it. You're an outlaw. No, there's no way I leave the crab to hit me. That's lunacy. That crab represents a disturbance in the force. I mean, it gives them a discard outlet. It gives them everything. 1 mil from the frog draw. Yeah, you got savage. Missed a mill from the frog draw. That's sometimes how frog works. I probably want that. Alright. So now we can Fatal Push the bone zone, as Dingo calls it. Zach Mill is bad when you're gonna... No, I only think Mill is bad in Legacy. My comments to you are related to Legacy, Zariak. My thoughts about Mill relate to Legacy, and Legacy alone. I fracture your sanity. Get in and play Vintage Mill? No, you can't play Vintage Mill. That's not how it works. Like, you could maybe only beat Vintage Mill, like, doesn't beat anything. Yeah. Vintage Mill, people are going to be like, oh, you milled me? Alright, cast Treasure Cruise, thanks. Thanks. Goryo's Vengeance. I would like to target that. No Grizzlebrands. No Grizzlebrands. They have it. What's left? One bum. Alright. Let's... Okay. Letting them draw 7 with Grizzlebrand is letting them... I don't know about that. I don't know if that one... If that one's an honorary crab. Or if that one's just too strong. Alright, so if they hit Goryo's... Can they hit Goryo's? 1 Goryo's, 2 Goryo's, thrice Goryo's. They could still hit Goryo's, but it's going to be probably pretty hard for them to hit an untapped black source. 1, 2, 3... We're going to find out if they have an untapped black source. Womp womp. Okay, so we must make them suffer. Yeah, you could play a mill spell, or you could play Doomsday. Let me tell you about Doomsday. Let me tell you about Doomsday. Open all of these. All right, here we go. See, if I had a Daybreak account, I could open these, but they'd be meaningless. Meaningless. But instead, I got a Gnome Master Chief guy, a weird-looking Thoughtcast, 45 play points, and a golden booster. And that could be anything. It could even be a swamp. All that for a fucking swamp. All that for a drop of blood. Zahor. Glories past. Zombie cat warrior. Well, of course. Start your engines. I don't know what that means. Sacrifice another creature. Surveil 1. Activate only once each turn? How does activate only once each turn get to be on that card, but the god, you can just do it a million times? Alright, so we won. We did it. We went 4-1 with Mill. Alright, what do you guys want to see? What do you guys want to see? New poll. New poll. What's next? Add not.